Good morning. Oh, it's actually almost 12. And by the time I post this, it will be afternoon. Whatever. Anyway, last night, we did a reading, but Alex fronted for it. So, she was super excited at first, and then she was potentially oversharing too much about her own stuff in the reading. But I hope that whoever it's for, they will find value in the things that we were sharing. I kind of want to watch it just to see what Alex was like after saying that she's Alex and stuff. I don't know. But in saying that, I need to watch the Ellie video. Why have I been putting that off? Well, it just hasn't come up yet. It's been obviously coming up because I've been bringing it up, but I wasn't felt drawn to do it yet. So but I feel like I'll do that today. But I've been getting a lot of messages about how I still am blocking myself from receiving things, receiving love and stuff. Well, everything, really. And then it's I am being invited to look more deeply into that. The things that are literally holding my blessings back from being presented to me. And for the last couple of days, a few days, we've felt like we've got little smaller parts trying to come up and process some things, but we've been kind of I'm acknowledging right now that there's been an old pattern of letting them come to the front, letting them just live, slightly, so they're not fully fronting, but they're with someone else, but the other person is just kind of there. They're not interacting with the younger aspects that need comfort and guidance and stuff. A part of my healing at one point a couple of years ago was to start watching shows that had really good parent-child relationships, dynamics, where the parent would actually want to know what's going on with their child and actually care. Because obviously that's the kind of thing that I've been doing with my kids, but I know that I never had that for me growing up, which is why I want to do it for my kids, but then I'm still not doing it for my own self, for the child aspects that are inside. And because when I was really young, I wanted to be grown up, and I wanted to just do all the grown up things and be grown up. I just had a moment of realization where I first remember saying that I wanted to just grow up already. I wanted to just be a grown up already when I was 3. But 3 was the age. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, true. Okay. I was gonna say 3 was the age where I had my first, like, sexual, encounter, um, that I could remember. That I could conceptualize. And then I was like, was it? I thought that was just when the gender confusion stuff came in. That's just like, and then I remembered a thing I wrote one time, which was basically stating that something had happened and they described it in like that house that I lived in when I was 3. So now I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Is that what they're trying to? Yes. Because my friend Goku was bringing all of that up and said that I will be processing my child sexual trauma. And we haven't been focusing on actively healing that. Okay, so I need to spend some time with my younger self today and talk through whatever information they have. Yeah? And then, like, whatever memories they share with me, whatever information they share with me, I can note all of that down. But then I won't put too much weight on it like, because I understand that, first of all, I have the ability to tap into so many different timelines and realities that this part, whatever they tell me, I can acknowledge and accept that that is absolutely real for them. But without ever any actual physical evidence that something happened or that specific scenario unfolded the way that they said. There's no point like doing much about that or feeling differently about anyone because, I mean, that's the thing. Even if like you're constantly shifting in and out of different timelines, realities anyway, right? So this version of me might not even be the same. Like the soul that I'm speaking as right now, I may have hopped into this body and in this physical reality, you know? And that smaller fragment, they could be from another reality or they could be from this original reality. Either way, I know how to completely, like, also I know that everything bad that happens to you, so everything bad that has happened to me happened because that was a part of the contract, that was part of the plan before I was born, right? So then, like, there's no point, is there? Because in that reading that we did yesterday, it said something about the parents are going to realize what has been happening, and once the parents realize this thing and that they had false beliefs about their child, then a whole bunch of bad karma and stuff comes off of the child, even if the child already knew that they didn't deserve all of that shit. The parents rejecting that still makes a difference, and I wasn't aware of that. I was like, nah, doesn't matter what anyone says, doesn't matter what your parents think of you. You don't have to go to them and demand that they see things your way so that you can heal, because they're not going to do that. Yeah. But it was more of a, you have to see. I remember, see, this is what Alex did in the reading, and I remember this bit. Forgets. What was I saying? Contentment? Yeah, no. Parents. Something. Damn it. Forgot. Anyway, yeah. So I can talk to that part and believe everything that she's saying is completely true. Yes, because I don't have to have evidence from this reality to know that it's true for that part of my soul or whatever that is saying that happened. I can trust them and I can love them. Like, doubting them isn't going to help them heal. Oh, I just got it. I just put the pieces together. Me reparenting myself, and if I'm going to be that parent for myself, then I have to actively parent myself the way that I would actively parent my children. And I need to listen to all of the stuff, take on board, see things from their perspective. I need to see things from my child self's perspective. All right, we got there in the end, guys. Puzzle pieces. Ow. Just holding my phone hurts my wrist. I need to work out my wrists. I was gonna read you something. I can still do that. 1, 2, 1, 2 on the timer. All right, hold on a minute. Hang on, I'll put you down for a second. Yes, I was joking. It was a joke. I love you. Wait a minute. All right. I read this before, but I don't know if I've done it here. I don't know. But I want to get comfy, but I've got bags all in. Why? That's not a comfy tent. I can go over there. You're overthinking this. All right. I'm just gonna. Okay. All right. Ready? I wrote this. It doesn't have a date on it, but I would say about 6 years ago. Or was this like a revised? I don't know. Anyway, listen up, motherlicker. Alright. Emotional and communication skills assistance? Question mark. Apparently that is the title. Let's rethink that one. But anyway. Many of the world's issues are as a result of people not understanding their emotions or knowing how to communicate effectively. The best way to get along with others is to understand ourselves first and know that nobody can really understand the way you feel. Ready? Oh, this is just the beginning. All right. People will make assumptions about the way you feel based off opinions you have shared with them before, your facial expressions and body language, and the way they have felt or would feel in the same situation. Thing is, people have layers of emotion. You might, for example, feel sad over the loss of a pet or a loved one. But some may see your loss and assume your sadness is your biggest feeling. Some people don't realize not all families are close. And sometimes you can be more emotional about other things at the same time. Sometimes completely unrelated things. It is normal to feel more than one feeling at a time. But now imagine that feeling never went away. More feelings build up and up over time. So what do you do? This is what most people do. But it keeps them struggling their whole lives. And lots of people need therapy to help. What they do is ignore the feelings and push them down. They often think the feelings go away after a while, but find that they have buried themselves until later, when you're overflowing with a mess of emotion and you stop coping so well. What we need to do to stop the build-up of emotion is to acknowledge a feeling when it comes up. Think about what made you feel that way, and think about whether your feeling is making you act different. Are you closing yourself off? Are you treating somebody differently because of your feeling? We need to think about whether holding on to the feeling will make you happier. If it is a feeling that makes you want to hurt people or make others feel sad, that will lower the vibration of the molecules of your body and your energy field. When we feel the things that made us vibrate lower or feel yucky, right? Okay. All we have to do is understand that something made us feel that way, and that is okay. Now that our body and brain showed us that we feel this way about the thing or the person, we can say thank you to that feeling and then let it go. Once we release that feeling out of our bodies and back into the world, it doesn't have to stay in the same form of emotion. It now has the freedom to become another emotion, for someone else, maybe hope, maybe love. Am I going to get to the thing that I want to say right now? Or should I jump in? Okay. So, yeah. So when something makes us feel a certain way, right? And triggers those yucky feelings or whatever. Like, just acknowledging that it made us feel that way, and then releasing it. That's not the whole process. That's not the whole process. Okay. So you need to acknowledge, like, if something happens, if someone says something to you, or someone just says something, like, in general, and you happen to overhear it, and then it triggers you, it triggers an emotion that's uncomfortable within you, you need to acknowledge, first of all, yeah, I'm feeling this feeling, and also I'm feeling it because they said that. And then you're like, why would that make me feel this? And then you can start to receive messages from your internal world. You'll start to receive intuitive hits that will give you more clues that you can then work toward. So it's basically the same way that I tune into my altars and inner world, and the same way I tune into the energies of people external to me to give them readings and stuff. You basically just, if someone I can't think, I don't want to think of an example. Why not? Well, this can be the example then. Why am I feeling a blockage when I'm thinking of an example? It's like, wow. So then, and then I acknowledge, oh, the blockage is like here, and I can feel it here. Ooh, yeah, that's how we do it. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, so you note the feeling, you feel the feeling, but you note where it is in your body. Note where it is in your body. Where do you feel it, and what does it feel like? So when I said there's a block, it just felt like a barrier that was like that. And now I'm going to start dissolving that barrier. The second I started, like, visualizing the barrier dissolving and then breathing the particles of it out, my back cracked. Um, yeah, so acknowledging it in your body opens things for your body to start communicating more with you, because you're more than one guy. Your brain is a guy, and your body is a guy, and your soul is a guy. You're multiple guys. Even without DID, even without having multiple personalities and fractured everything, you're still multiple guys. Yeah. So then I'm visualizing, you see someone on the street, right? And you overhear them say something, and then you feel, oh, triggered. There's someone trigger in here. Why is the trigger in here? And so if it's in the heart area that you're feeling the trigger, then that means that it's something to do with love and self-love, right? And then you'd be like, oh, well, they said something that makes me think of this thing. I must have like a love or self-love issue when it comes to this thing. And can you tell me more about that? And then you can start noticing new emotions starting to surface. And then you can just get curious about that. And it's like, oh, what's that feeling about? And then you might get like random images of random objects or whatever. And then if you like tune into that and be like, what, can you give me more information about that? And like, this is how you process stuff that is already buried. In like, in an ideal world where children are taught to like understand, like to process things from a very, very young age, then there's not going to be that much to bury, like to dig up that it was buried. But for the world that we're in now, that whole process is very, very important, because so many, everyone has been traumatized by some shit, right? And I was about to say that everyone has been traumatized as a child, like at home from neglect or whatever. And then I'm like, no, hang on. Just because that's all I've seen in my life, myself, and in everyone that I've met, doesn't mean that good families don't exist. I'm aware that good families exist. I'm aware, just because I haven't seen it in person and experienced it for myself, doesn't mean that doesn't exist. That's just because of the vibration that I've been at, because of my beliefs. Obviously, if you grow up in an environment where every family that you've known aren't seeing each other and loving each other and supporting each other, then you're going to have a belief that that's just not the way it is, right? And then if you see it on like TV where that is a thing, and other people talk about having a good life like that, then you start to be like, oh, do I just not have that because I don't deserve that? And then you start to build this whole, like, magnetize this whole reality around you that reinforces that belief. So it's like, you gotta shift the belief before your reality shifts. And in order to inspire the fucking masses, I have to keep facing my shit and heal it. I have to show what is possible and how people can raise themselves up. So it's literally, I feel like if I don't heal myself, I'm letting the entire fucking world down, because I have this vision, and I have for a very long time, I have this vision of being some form of leader, right? That can help people see themselves truly and heal through false beliefs, that can help people understand that other people's feelings and stuff aren't about you, and that you have the power within you to get through anything, rise above all things. And I just want everyone to be taught about like empathy and compassion and all of that stuff. I want all of that to be like the basics of what you fucking learn in school and stuff, like self-compassion, all of that shit. Yeah, but for others as well. Like, we need to learn how to process our emotions and how to be good people to ourselves and others. These are the things that I want being taught in schools. So I was gonna create this like course program thing that I wanted to teach to everyone. I wanted it to become like part of the curriculum, like worldwide. Just, and I know that I'm not on my own with this. I know that other people are wanting to do the same or similar things, because we've all come here at this time to help facilitate this, to help create this change, right? So, I guess a part of my journey has been believing that I had to do it all by myself, because I haven't had anyone who wanted to work together and do things and make a difference. But through my healing and ascension journey the last couple of years, I now have eyes on other people that are the same as me, that are more healed. I need to get to where they at, healing wise. But it's like we all have similar abilities but different strengths and knowledge within it all. And it'd be so cool to come together and just like teach each other everything. That'd be so cool, man. Anyway, I wasn't finished reading this, so I'm gonna read whatever I had left. Okay, understanding our own emotional triggers can help us to teach others to understand their own. What? Right, yeah, okay. If we were to acknowledge and release our emotions, there would be less conflict. Everybody is responsible for their own emotions. Sometimes you can't help feeling a certain way, but try your best to release it and your emotion won't affect other people. Do I agree with what I wrote there? I don't know. These are questions. Some people claim that the words and actions of another person cause them to feel a certain way, and because they blame someone else, they hold on to the yucky feeling hoping that they'll get revenge by taking that feeling out on the person who gave it to them. That's not how that works. I mean, I agree with that, because I agree that that's not how that works. See, where I said there's a thing that I wanted to address, and now I want to address it even more. Okay, so when I said, once we release that feeling out of our bodies and back into the world, it doesn't have to stay the same form of emotion. It now has the freedom to become another emotion for someone else. Maybe hope, maybe love. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be an emotion. It can be just energy, the energy of potential, or you can intentionally transform it into another emotion or energy, because it's just setting the frequency, right? It's just dialing the frequency on that specific feeling, right? So you don't actually have to true. All right, that's true. All right. So if the emotion is literally just a thing that's moving through you and you haven't blocked it yet, you haven't like pushed it down or whatever, if it's just a thing you're experiencing, yeah, acknowledge it and release it, because like it doesn't belong to you. And yeah, once it moves through you and you learn the lesson from it that it came here to teach you, like, oh, they said that thing and it made me feel this way. What does that teach me about myself? Teaches me that I don't agree with what they said. That doesn't resonate with me. All right, cool. That was a good lesson. And then you walk away and forget that person existed because they only existed to show you how you feel about yourself. It's not that this person that triggered this feeling in you, they didn't come into your life so that you could then fixate on them because the universe was communicating one of your values to you through them. Like, if the universe wants you to know, hey, this is how you feel about things, it'll bring a person and a situation that will show you this is how you feel about this thing. You're not supposed to cling to that person. You're not supposed to cling to them and be like, you made me feel this. I don't like that, so I'm gonna attack you. Like, that's not how that works. That person isn't part of your story. They're just meant to be there to show you something about yourself. Have you been attacking people lately? Have you been thinking that the universe is bringing you these people so that you can do something about them? Because that's not what this is. It's something about inside you that you need to work with. That's why the universe brings things to your attention. Not so that you can try and control and manipulate their life in some way and like being angry at them. It's about opportunity to see yourself in a new light and learn something about yourself. That's what that is. Anyway, yeah, but if you have a conversation with the entity that moves through you as an emotion, because all energies are conscious, everything in reality is conscious, right? And then different emotions and different stuff, like, imagine them as like little monsters. They have their own awareness, and they saw an opportunity to teach you something about yourself. They're like, oh, I'll do it, and then they like fly through you. And then some people, instead of letting the feeling fly through them so they can process, oh, what was that about, if they don't like that feeling, they generally hold on to it and they're like, nah, I don't like that feeling, I'm gonna bury that. And then they tuck it away for later. Like, bro, that just, it didn't even want to stay inside you, bro. Take it back out and let it go, man. What are you doing? So yeah, did I address the things I wanted to address? Everybody's responsible for their own emotions. People come to trigger you to teach you more about yourself, not so that you can somehow blame them for how they're feeling, how you're feeling. Yeah? Keep looking inward and healing yourself. Yeah, because it doesn't serve you to fixate on someone else when you obviously have so many like insecurities and stuff within your own self to heal. What are you doing? Also, like, just sending energy to someone else when you need it yourself is a bit, that is not looking after yourself. Yeah, go look after yourself, silly Billy. Go be gentle with yourself. And I'm gonna go talk to my younger self and find out what they want to talk about. I don't think I was gonna say I don't think I will post that and whatever details they share, just because, like, again, I don't know like what timeline or reality that is from and blah blah blah, and I am gonna have to like process me and her. See? I'm just assuming. See, that is very interesting. I just had that realization where I said that age 3 was when I was like starting to be like super adamant that I wanted to be a boy, um, and stuff. But I keep referring to my younger self from that age as a girl. What if that's what they want to talk about? I don't know. I guess I'll find out. Aw. Yeah, because the only, like, male child altar that I have been consciously aware of in my system was a lion cub. Not even a human. His name is Milo. Interesting. I have a lot to discuss with myself. Let's do that. Alright, cool. Alright. I might tell you about it later. I don't know. I'll find out what I'm meant to do as things unfold. That's how life works. Alright, I'm gonna go maybe eat some food. Make a smoothie or something. Alright. Love ya.